My grandmother lived through the AIDS crisis, so I guess that's what really sparked the conversation. My community is so largely affected by HIV. If nothing changes, the current estimate is 1 in 4 Latino men who have sex with men will become HIV positive. PrEP is a pill you take once a day. It's an added layer of protection for HIV negative people. PrEP is only effective against preventing HIV. I recommend PrEP and a condom. It is important to keep yourself healthy because your sexual health does lead to your health overall, and that was really important to me. My grandmother was very supportive. Of course, she still wants me to be her little Juanito, but now she has that extra layer of security. It doesn't matter if I'm with someone who's HIV positive, someone who's HIV negative, I just feel much more secure.
Tener una conversación acerca del VIH no es algo que pasa comúnmente en nuestra cultura hispana. O sea, si no sabes porque no lo hablas, entonces, ¿qué haces? Me di cuenta que PrEP existía por medio de la clínica donde me fui a hacer unos exámenes para el VIH. PrEP es un medicamento que estoy tomando para prevenir la contracción del VIH. Creo que siempre se ha dejado la decisión al hombre, pero ya no es así. La primera vez que me hice la prueba del VIH iba completamente destrozada, insegura. Y ahora que voy a mis citas médicas, ya que estoy tomando PrEP, me siento liberada de todas esas preocupaciones. Cada quien toma decisiones sobre su propio cuerpo. Yo pienso que debe ser una de las primeras cosas que se le ofrece a una persona que está yendo a hacerse un examen para el VIH o cualquier tipo de examen en general. Yo pienso que PrEP es empoderarte de tu salud, de tu vida.
So the first time I heard about PrEP, I'm like, okay, so what's really with this medication? After taking PEP and seeing how, I was okay, I just decided to take PrEP. PrEP is pre-exposure prophylaxis. You take PrEP once a day to prevent yourself from acquiring HIV. I'm in my 20s, I'm having fun, I'm doing what I want to do when I want to do it. I'm taking PrEP because I want to keep my status the way it is. I explain PrEP as if it is a birth control for HIV. Take birth control to prevent from being pregnant. Take PrEP to prevent HIV. When I get tested now, I feel less anxious, less stressed. I feel more empowered and confident. I feel like I value myself more. Like, I care more about my health and myself to make sure that I'm healthy and living. Like, I'm good.
I had never got an HIV test, so I was nervous. When it came back negative, I was happy about that. My doctor was telling me that transgender women are most likely to get HIV. He asked me, would I like to get on PrEP? PrEP is a medication that prevents you from getting HIV. It put me back in control of my own life. I used to not date anyone and kind of stay to myself, but I've been dating more because I have the extra security with PrEP. It just feels good that I could just get out there. It made me stronger, a stronger woman.
I was totally convinced that I had HIV. I think for a gay man, and a lot of people can relate to this, every time that you have a cough or you get a cold or, God forbid, a flu, you're thinking, oh God, this is HIV, I have HIV, I know I do. I was so burdened with anxiety about contracting HIV that I did not get tested for 4 years. A friend of mine pulled me outside of the bar one night and said, hey, my doctor's put me on PrEP and I think that you are a good candidate. It took somebody to kind of shake me and be like, wake up, you can do this. It's not out of reach. Most people pay little or nothing for PrEP, and if you have insurance, they have options as well. I'm definitely empowered by my PrEP use. Before I was on PrEP, if I knew that somebody was HIV positive, I was defensive. I was nervous. I don't have that fear anymore. I can live as I want to live, and I can be with who I want to be with. I think the most important thing that we can do is talk about it. And I will talk about PrEP to anybody who will listen all the time.
I've known people with HIV, but it wasn't until I had a friend who contracted HIV, where all of a sudden it was like most things in the world, unless it's directly affecting you, you don't really completely understand what's going on. That same day, I started my testing to get on PrEP. PrEP is a pill that you take once a day that will prevent you from contracting HIV. I feel better knowing what my status is. I feel more confident. I'm being responsible for myself. I'm taking care of myself. That should be seen as that's a positive thing. There shouldn't be an issue with that. There shouldn't be a shame attached to wanting to make sure that you're healthy. At this point in time in my life, I need to be on it. I want to be on it.
When I heard about PrEP, I was kind of skeptical. What made me change my mind was someone that was close to me was in a long-term relationship. The person that they was in a relationship with was HIV positive, but they didn't disclose it to him. My friend went to the doctor, found out he was positive. With PrEP, it was more of a feeling that I had control of my own health rather than putting it in somebody else. My close friend, he didn't have that option. Being on PrEP, it has changed my perspective of being in relationships with someone with HIV. Just knowing that I have that extra protection, you're taking control of your own health. And it's not just for me, it's for my family as well. My mom always had her concerns, having that PrEP also give her a peace of mind. I don't see why anyone wouldn't want to be on PrEP. Why not use what's available to you?
There was a period where I was in a relationship and I hadn't been tested. I found out he did cheat on me. I didn't get tested for a couple months because I was kind of dreading the answer. I just went and did it and I was negative, and that's when I was like, okay, this is it. PrEP is a pill you take once a day to protect you from HIV. I had an alarm set on my phone. It literally said, it had the little emoji of a pill, it said, take your PrEP. There you go. My mom would say about me being on PrEP, oh, I can lay at night, no, my baby's safe. It gives her peace of mind. I personally pair PrEP with condoms, so I know I'm not risking getting other STDs that are out there. Condoms and PrEP, you'll be good to go. If you're positive, let's go get you on your meds so you can be undetectable. If you're not and you're wanting to be sexually active, why take the chance? I love informing people because, we could wipe this out and that could be the end.
1 in 2 Black gay men will contract HIV if nothing changes. I believe that is driven by, the fact that we largely just don't want to address the issue. It was always in the back of my mind. It was always something that I was concerned about. And I think largely that concern was fueled by a lack of knowledge. That's why I believe it's so important to get it out there, have those conversations, talk about the options that are available, talk about the importance of getting tested. If you're not HIV positive, getting on PrEP. If you are, that there are treatment options available. PrEP makes me feel empowered, most definitely, hands down. I feel this great sense of independence, and I feel even more comfortable in my skin. I take it on a daily basis, and I live my life to the fullest. That's the beautiful thing about this medication. For a long period of time, I don't think I valued myself. I don't think that I loved myself. I was too consumed about what other people thought. That doesn't bother me anymore. PrEP has definitely given me this boost of confidence just to live my life and to be me. I definitely believe that it is a turning point for gay Black men. And if you want a turning point to occur, then you have to be that turning point.
Seek out resources, ask questions until you get that answer that you're looking for. But the support is definitely there. And if it's not, make your voice known. If you're not comfortable with your physician, ask for another one. You know, you have to be your best and strongest advocate.
I get tested probably anywhere from 6 months to at least once a year. Every time you take a test, you're always nervous about what the results are going to be. If it takes longer to come back than you would normally expect, you get more nervous. The first time I've heard about PrEP was from a transgender group. PrEP is a daily pill that protects against HIV. I reached out for information on how do I go about getting on it. We ran through a series of tests. We just went from there. I want to continue to keep myself healthy. Anything that's gonna keep me surviving or keep me here longer, I'm willing to try it. I would recommend it to anyone, everyone, to be safe and secure in whatever you do, no matter who you are. Why not take care of yourself the best way you can? I believe that right now is the time. The more people that are on PrEP, it could help turn the tables on HIV. It gives me hope.
When I was 16, I was diagnosed with syphilis. I just kind of vowed to myself that I would never let a 16-year-old or just like any youth period go without knowing about HIV and STIs. The first time I heard about PrEP, I didn't know what it was. I'm like, I'm not about to take no pill, that type of thing. But then once I actually started doing my own research about it, I'm like, wow, okay, why not PrEP? It's like I know I don't have to worry about HIV, knowing the statistics as it relates to African American males, as it relates to HIV. If you have a medicine that is there to help prevent you from contracting HIV, then why not try it? I just don't understand why people don't. And that's really the God honest truth. I love my people. I always say that the PrEP pill kind of combats the elephant in the room, because most people try to stay away from HIV because it's so pertinent in the community. Having PrEP, it's easier for people to talk about it because it's like, hey, I'm on PrEP, so now let's talk about it. At least the conversations are being had.
When I came out, my mom's biggest fear was me contracting HIV. I think one of the big things is being proactive about your healthcare, which is what PrEP is all about. PrEP is this pill that you take once a day to prevent HIV. When I was starting out on PrEP, my mom had no idea what it was. I told her it's as if I was taking birth control. I'm not planning on getting HIV, just like people aren't planning on getting pregnant. PrEP makes me feel like I am able to take my health into my own hands. It gives me a lot less anxiety. It comes down to do I like this person? It really just brings everything back down to the individual, which is honestly where we should be now.
We have no idea what life is going to bring us, but we can prepare for it. I never thought my partner would cheat on me. When you talk about perception of risk, what happened to me emotionally is that first you go through the pain, but at that point, I felt that, Nicole, you better take an extra step to protect yourself. PrEP is a pill that you take once a day that prevents you from getting HIV. You take birth control every day, right, to prevent you from getting pregnant. Well, this is the same thing. You take a pill every day to prevent you from getting HIV. PrEP allows me to be in control of my sexual health. None of my partners know that I take PrEP unless I disclose that to them. I would continue to strive to be HIV negative. I have control of that, and I would never give that power now to a man. I always say PrEP may not be for you, but sister, everybody should know about it.
I've always been anxious about taking an HIV test. If I slipped and either didn't use a condom or had sex with somebody who I didn't know their status, it would definitely frighten me. The messages about HIV were there, but I think somewhere in the back of my head, it was still, I'm not really at risk. I have to start being honest with myself, really assessing what my risk is, not so much as behaviors, but because I'm a young, Black, gay male, I need to take this extra level of protection because I am at risk. That's a hard phrase to say. The first time I heard about PrEP was when I got an STI screening. As far as how effective PrEP was, I was sold on it pretty shortly after I found out. It removes that anxiety. I can actually approach an intimate interaction and not have to worry about what my test results are gonna be. Now I can embrace my sexuality, embrace my ability to be intimate with another person. It's more about me taking control of my health. I'm not running around trying to shove a blue pill down everybody's throat. They'll always just tell people, look at what being on PrEP can mean for you and decide what you want to do.
For more information about PrEP, go to prep.greaterthan.org.